Hi, my name is Charlie Zigmond. I'm an accounting consultant from Portland, Oregon, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build your own functions inside of Excel for when the built-in ones don't have exactly what you need. So the first thing we're going to do is we open a new workbook and we open the Visual Basic Editor. Then we insert a module so that we can have a place to store our functions that we're going to write. And we set up a basic conversion like pounds to kilograms. I'm going to list out a couple of test values, and then we will first just multiply it by the ratio to show one way of doing it. But the problem is you're not going to remember that number later, the 2.20462. So to store that in a way that makes it intuitive, we go into the module. We tell Excel that we're going to define a new function. We give it a name, which I've chosen pounds to kilograms, and then we store input, which happen to be those test values we laid out earlier, and we define that input as two things: an integer and also as being named pounds. And then within the function, there has to be an actual line that tells it what to do. And so here we're defining that the term pounds to kilograms means to take the pounds input and multiply it by 2.20462. So we're going to now carry that down and see if it tests as we would expect it to across the other values. And it does. And so the nice thing about this is that once you've got one going, it becomes much easier to write the next one. And so we're going to go ahead and show you how you do that. So here I've just copied and pasted the entire formula. I'm switching it to, at this point I'm making a dog year converter because, you know, for every one year a human lives, a dog lives 7. And kind of playing around with the name, not sure what I want to name it, and I'm changing the input from pounds to years. As with before, I'm carrying the name down, and then I'm going to change the input in the formula as well. So not only when I'm defining what the input is, but also when I go to actually do math with it. Now to show this, we're going to go ahead and set up a little table that basically converts the age of a human to the age of a dog. Carry down the same test values. You can see our formula appears there, and it seems to work for all values. Go ahead and move that up to be in line with our other example, and then we'll do one more that maybe is a little more common for people. One that I would probably use more often would be to convert the amount of weeks to an amount of years. And nice thing about this is we're using the same input, so we can carry that same years input, and then we're just changing the name of the function and the multiplier from 7 to 52. And you can kind of see how we can rattle off a lot of different functions here. Anything that you can think to express as an algebraic equation can be stored as a function, and so that can be really helpful. Here I'm just testing the limits of our year to week converter by giving it a series of different input values. I've chosen to go ahead and use the rand function, which just feeds back in a random number. The problem I was having is that a lot of the random numbers it was generating were way too small. You can use the rand between function to fix this, but instead I chose to just multiply it by 1,000, and that fixed a lot of them. But then I was still getting value errors, and I wasn't sure why at first. But I think it's important to include this because this is basically how the troubleshooting process works. So I started looking into it, and what I realized was that my choice to store things as integers was a mistake, and that I should have stored them using the long function. And so as soon as I switched it to long, not the long function, but the long type is what I should say. And as soon as I switched it to that, all of them started working. And what it is that long integer will store it just as the integer itself, so like 1 or 2, but long will include the decimal places, and it'll include a lot of decimal places, which is why it's called the long function. And so that's basically, once I fixed that, everything worked, and that's a lesson to learn in both using the long type and also in how to troubleshoot a problem. All right, I hope hope you found this helpful. I've put together a few more examples of different functions, some conversions, some financial, some tax related. The possibilities are limitless. I hope you can find something to automate in your everyday with this, and thank you for watching.